It's now been 1 week since the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy is now at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, a place that's been described as hell on earth.
The Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn has seen multiple deaths in recent years.
It is inedible, from what I've been told. It's way too hot in the summer. Sometimes there's no heat at all in the winter. The toilet water has been known to freeze. It's violent, someone like Mr. Combs, might be.
Yep. Diddy and Taylor right here. One press right there. One shot. To this camera. To this one. Right here, guys.
Nobody had to look at him for real, for real. And the truth is nobody did. Everybody laughed and joked about him dancing like a idiot in all them goddamn videos. Twirling around in circles. This nigga been wild. Like,
Two, three.
I'm not lying.
Oh, they beautiful. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Getting that Onika's personal manager and mentor is Diddy. People keep forgetting that he created Onika to replace Little Kim so he didn't have to be forced with facing Biggie's legacy all the time because he knew what he had stolen.
I didn't know
He
that.
created Onika to destroy Kim.
Why give her to Gucci Man? Why give her to Lil Wayne? Like, why let her leave the East Coast?
Jennifer Lopez's connection to Diddy has come back into the spotlight as both her personal and professional ties to the music mogul are now under scrutiny. Lopez, who dated Diddy in the early 2000s, has been linked to several events at his infamous parties. Although there is no confirmation of her involvement in any illegal activities, her name appearing on the arrest warrant list has sparked a media frenzy. Legal experts suggest that Lopez might be called to testify, especially considering her past association with Diddy during a 1999 nightclub shooting incident.
All Jennifer Lopez had to do was marry a white boy, Oscar winner, for people to stop remembering that she had a gun in her pocketbook. She had gunshot residue on her hands the night that Natanya was shot at that club. Not once has she spoken up for the betterment of that woman or say something in her defense to stop Puffy from gaslighting her and trying to put hits out on her because he was afraid that maybe one day they would open the case and she still has the bullet fragments in her face. Like J-Lo has said nothing. You really thought that just running off and marrying Ben Affleck was going to take you out of the Diddy downfall?
Footage from a Diddy freak-off party.
When he comes to a P. Diddy party, this is what happens to the white man.
It's so unfortunate.
You gotta pull back though, so they can see. That's crazy. Matt, move out the way. You're still alive. Look at that. Look.
What just did the drink out his head?
And that's James from Simeon Mobile Disco. He is an actual DJ. He's not supposed to pass out, but when they come to one of my parties, this is what happens to them.
I mean, first off, I'm just shocked that he still has his pants on, being in that position at a Diddy party. Secondly, I wake up and I see a video like that, bro. I'm coming for you, bro. You're gonna get done, Diddy. How has this been going on for decades and nobody is...
I mean, I'm 13 years old. I'm not here to party with you. I don't want to go to the clubs. Matter of fact, I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs? There were a lot of things I seen and a lot of positions that I think I was put in where I had to make very, very tough decisions in my life about who I would be.
He too is in the music biz. We spoke with several others as well, describing 24 hours of partying at a time.
Sometimes they provide breakfast in the morning and it's like you can chill. I'm just wild on how he's just able to keep all that energy. He just has a lot of energy, like, to be that age and to be throwing these parties so frequently.
It's all mood, often lighting, club love seen as themes. We heard about Art Basel and New Year's Eve events. More details coming to light after Diddy's arrest in New York earlier this week.
Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years.
He remains in federal lockup after 2 different judges denied him bond over claims of human trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, all tied to, quote, freak-offs, elaborate sex events he'd organized, allegedly fueled by drugs, blackmail, and violence.
The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers. When Combs didn't...
The recent fallout from Diddy's arrest has sent shockwaves through Hollywood, with new reports hinting that arrest warrants have been issued for several celebrities allegedly linked to his criminal activities. The investigation into Diddy's parties has widened, and sources suggest that up to 7 high-profile figures could now be facing charges. This list reportedly includes major stars such as Jay-Z and Jennifer Lopez, adding even more intrigue to an already sensational case.
Well, talking about expensive pain? In his eye, me. He's a f***ing Fruit Loop. He Diddy-fied. He's a deep-fried period.
You think that audio that they put out was real?
What's hell? Nikki put that up there. That Nikki recorded that at the freak off in the Calabasas. She been waiting to drop that shit on me. She just wasn't going to tell nobody it was Diddy. But now that Diddy out there.
There's really no deal that the U.S. Attorney's Office can offer, and it's certainly not one that Diddy will accept. It would involve decades in federal prison. We're talking about mandatory minimum sentences of 10 years for both the drug charges and the sex trafficking. So we know that Diddy has fought charges before. There were state charges, there were gun-related, the nightclub shooting with J-Lo, but he's going to dig in his heels, and this case is going to trial. So if you're prosecutors, you really want to make sure that your evidence is bulletproof before you go down that.
Why you lowering his thing? You think you're doing him a favor? He's very, very happy being mentioned, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Okay. Why'd you do Young Thug like that?
What is wrong with that?
Was he really trying to holler at you before?
No!
Never hollered at you.
Never!
Stephen A. Smith has weighed in, hinting that Diddy may not be the only one facing serious charges. Smith suggested that the magnitude of the accusations indicates that several other prominent figures could be involved as well. His remarks lend credibility to the growing rumors about additional celebrities being connected to Diddy's underground events. As Smith noted, if more names continue to emerge, the repercussions could reach far beyond the hip-hop community.
The ladies be nice. I know everybody, make sure your breath is fresh. Make sure you lotion up. Here's a plug, you know what I'm saying? If you're smoking weed, hit the Listerine strips. Please be respectful. Ladies, if they don't want to dance, don't let that hold you back. Cause this whole thing about put that down now, Jones, come on. Gang, get to the dance floor. Yeah, love.
I did not know it was this bad. So the judge just denied Diddy bail. Diddy offered $50 million. He said, I will pay $50 million if you let me out until the trial. They said, nah. He's too much of a risk to the community. Do you know how much of a threat you have to be to offer $50 million and the judge should still say, nah, I'm too scared you're gonna throw another party? They let serial killers out on bail. It might have something to do with the 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube that they found at his home when they raided it. That's just my...
We're going to continue to hear a lot more of these types of stories because people feel safe to speak with Diddy behind bars. There's a real sense that he could spend the rest of his life in jail, and that will give people the courage to speak up.
Absolutely. Now, the Daily Mail is reporting that the UK government's outgoing Cabinet Secretary, Simon Case, could potentially pen an explosive tell-all on the breakdown of Harry and Meghan's relationship with the royal family. Kinsey, this is a surprise. What else can you tell us?
This could be really juicy, Rita. There have been reports of tension between Case and the Sussexes, particularly during the period leading up to Megxit. It's understood that Simon Case was involved in internal discussions about how to handle media coverage around the couple's growing dissatisfaction within the royal family. He was also said to have played a significant role in orchestrating the separation of the households of Prince William and Prince Harry. So he has a lot of insider information. I'm here for it. I know that's horrible to say, but I would read that book, Simon.
Well, is there still an appetite for this sort of content? Because we have heard so many reports. We've had so many news reports about Meghan being a horrible bully and Harry being whipped and all the shenanigans between Harry and Meghan.
Hollywood insider Jason Lee has revealed that he witnessed many influential figures at Diddy's infamous parties. Lee's remarks have fueled suspicions that Diddy's gatherings attracted more than just casual partygoers, hinting that these events often involved risky and potentially illegal activities. As more footage and evidence continue to surface, the complete picture of who attended and participated might soon be unveiled, putting increasing pressure on those who have so far stayed silent.
Bad boy. Oh, he's bad boy now. Oh, now. Signing the bad boy. Gerard card alert. It's Skulls. He's bad boy now. It's Skulls. Don't ever play yourself.
He looks so innocent. The Bible says a male shall not lie with a male as with a woman. And also the Bible says don't get drunk. No sex, no drugs, no clubs. I'm a real prophet like Jesus.
Happy birthday, Justin. Happy birthday.
Diddy poisoned his drink and I see the game with McMill maybe to sleep with him.
Welcome to the family, John. Bad boy. Bad boy. Bad boy.
My kingers, let's pray for Justin.
Says Stays outside.
I never thought that we would see the day where Diddy would get arrested, and I told you guys in that Maria Z interview in 2021 that no one tells on Diddy. P. Diddy. All right? Just the same way nobody tells on Denzel Washington. People don't usually talk and stop and think about the children victims that are going through things right now as we speak, and the ones who suffered through all this. Those are assault parties, and I was one of the kids that was one of the party favors, and a party favors means that you're set on top of a table and you're used as a toy for anybody who comes across the table or who wants to party at a certain time of night when the music stops and then the DJ starts flashing all these lights and they close the doors. Everybody turns into like a frenzy and starts going into a crazed animal-like demonic state, and you have no idea what's going on. And yes, there was a time where
Those documents that came out yesterday, including 1,000 bottles of baby oil. What surprised you the most about what you read yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, that, Brian, was a was definitely an alarming graph of the indictment when you read that when they raided, I believe it was the Miami home, where they found 1,000 bottles of, and they said that these were items that were used at the freak-offs. There were also large amounts of drugs, they said, cocaine, ketamine, Molly, GHB, the rape drug. So, you know, they said that the house, according to the feds, that was stocked for these parties that were going on. And then to read their description of how Diddy, as they say, lured women into joining these parties. And they say that he would meet them or lure them, get to know them and lure them in, thinking they would think that there was going to be a romantic relationship with him. And then it would turn out that they would be at these freak-offs where they would be forced to have, or drugged and forced to have sex with male prostitutes that he was bringing in. And that's one of the counts that he's facing also, is the transportation of individuals for a purpose of prostitution. So really alarming allegations laid out in court. Diddy, of course, has pled not guilty to all of it. And then the real kicker for him at the end of the day was that the judge said you will be held without bail. And that means however long it takes for this trial to begin, he will be in a federal detention facility in Brooklyn, and not a very nice one. In fact, a fairly notorious one. So you got to figure it. He wants out of there.
I met Diddy at Peak Party, and I met him when he was in a love era. And I met Diddy when the world was celebrating him and giving him his flowers while he was alive. Like he was getting the Global Icon Award, the Lifetime Achievement Award, the Key to the City. He had a new album that was coming out. So I was celebrating him with the world. And I just feel like everybody trying to crucify me for it. Like, you was his biggest advocate. You was his cheerleader, but I was just celebrating when the world was celebrating him. So why am I being crucified, or why am I being separated?
In these gatherings may not have been mere bystanders.
Have you seen this video? Unearthed by the Daily Mail. It turns out we should have been paying attention to what Sean Combs was saying all these years. P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever. He's actually on video basically saying, we're about to do some stuff here that's pretty adult.
And to all the kids have like an hour left. So get extra comfortable, kids, because after that, y'all gotta go. It's a wrap for y'all, because this thing turns into something that when y'all get older, y'all don't want to come to. Okay? So, let's just start to get our groove on a little bit. Then an hour, we'll put the kids away. It's all good. All right, DJ, let's hit it. Let's do it.
There you go. Again, video is showing up all over the place. Audio is showing up all over the place. People are starting to talk about what was going on. It makes you wonder, how exactly was he able to hide this for as long as he did? And if all these allegations are true, come on.
But it is apropos in this particular situation. Remember what Suge Knight said? Y'all remember that? When Suge Knight said he was in a world of trouble? Because Suge Knight said, listen, he knows a lot. And so you're looking at a potential situation where it could arguably mirror that of Jeffrey Epstein. Remember him? August 10th, 2019. Prison guards found, I'm reading right from online. Guards found American financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein unresponsive in his jail cell at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York City, where he was awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. Tried to perform CPR, couldn't resuscitate him, pronounced dead at a downtown hospital at 6:39 a.m. What it went on to say in the reports that there were violations because normal jail procedures on the night of Epstein's death wasn't followed. It talked about a malfunction of 2 cameras in front of his cell. And you got people still to this very day with their conspiracy theories being thrown out there that it wasn't suicide, but ultimately intentional harm was brought to him because he knew too much about too many people. That's what Suge Knight alluded to when he was talking about P. Diddy. And as we sit here today, who the hell can deny that potential reality? Do we know? No.
Increasing complexity of the case, a new judge has been assigned to oversee Diddy's legal proceedings. This appointment comes as federal prosecutors gear up to handle an expanding list of defendants, which includes several high-profile names. The decision underscores the gravity of the situation, with the possibility of an even broader investigation looming. Many celebrities linked to Diddy's parties are said to be in a state of panic as arrest warrants and subpoena subpoenas. Rumors of secret tapes containing compromising footage of stars like Jay-Z and Kim Kardashian have only intensified the scandal, sending shockwaves through Hollywood.
Also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes.
You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes.
Yes.
The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and kill.
Catch and kill, correct.
Wow, can you, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on
No,
the
I can't
tape.
explain who the person was, but
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Some of these stories, because I think it's important to point this out. When you highlight and you talk about some of the charges that have been leveled against him, and you see some of the stuff that's being said about him. Look at this right here. Former Danity Kane singer Aubrey O'Day writes, I never thought I would see this day, she told TMZ. We all buried this inside of us in order to be able to keep going. And not just me, but victims you don't even know yet. We're all processing what that type of vindication can actually feel like now. Every conversation I've had with victims last night has been beyond moving on all levels. That was Aubrey O'Day. You know 50 Cent was gonna make sure his voice was heard. Clowning P. Diddy. Taunting him, basically, because he's long taunted P. Diddy for years over the harrowing allegations against him. And what does he say here? This is yesterday, 50 Cent. Here I am, keeping good company with the Drew Barrymore TV show. And I don't have 1,000 bottles of lube at the house. 50 Cent was referencing the over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and personal lubricants for the freak-offs that the indictment revealed were allegedly found during the raid of Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami back in March.
Celebrities, including Jay-Z, have reportedly gone into hiding after the FBI issued warrants to search their properties. An attorney involved in Diddy's case has allegedly reviewed incriminating footage that features several high-profile figures, some even more influential than Diddy himself. These tapes are said to contain compromising activities recorded at Diddy's infamous parties, potentially implicating major stars in the illegal events now under investigation.
So as you guys know, right now, because Diddy's arrested, a bunch of these Kardashian clips are once again going viral. It has to do with Khloe, Kourtney, they're talking about Diddy parties, you name it. Well, there's even a little bit more that I don't think I covered. This is from The Sun. Here we go. So at the time, Khloe told her sister Kourtney that she had spent the night partying with a string of famous faces. She said that I got on a plane at 5:30 in the morning. Well, this party, I think half the people there were butt naked. You would have loved it. But we then turned to her co-star, Kaja, I don't know how to say it, and said, have you met Khloe's new crew of friends? To which she replied, yes. Yeah, I don't think I covered that, so oh my goodness. Also, I want to point this out. When you guys watch the Kardashian clips where they're talking about these Diddy parties, and you really watch them, you can tell it's almost like they knew it was weird or bizarre or shocking, right? So Khloe said something along the lines like, oh, Kourtney, did you like the party? And Kourtney's like, yeah. And then they talk about it, and then Khloe's like, you loved it? I don't know. It just seems weird to be talking about a party, because usually when you go to a party, everyone's like, yeah, the party was sick. It was great. It was a good time. But how they're talking about it just even seems off, bro. I'm just saying. Who knows, man?
As if you didn't need another reason to dislike Will Smith. Well, after watching this video, and mind you, it is a little disturbing, so please keep that in mind. Jaden says his mother sold him to Diddy, just like Usher handed Justin over to Diddy, and he had to attend those so-called camps, and they did the same thing to him that they did to Justin. So his mother actually forced him into these horrible acts. Also, Will and Jada used Jaden for their own freak-off parties, and Jaguar Wright said young men have actually ran screaming out of their house just to get away from them. So she did say that they do really weird things in that house. Also, Will, his assistant, he actually walked in on Will having schmegs with another man. Also, Jada introduced Jaden to some altering pills, and the fact that she had schmeg with one of his friends for 4 years. And guess what? Will didn't mind, because he was batting for the other team and having affairs with young men that were in the industry under the guise of mentorship. And he used that to manipulate all of them. This is so disturbing, I can't even tell you how sad I feel for Jaden. Also for what they have put him through. His life probably would have ended up differently. So if they had just freaking been normal. And Jaden, he emancipated from his parents when he was 16, and he refused to even come back to do family interviews. So I just hope that one day both him and Justin get the help that they need and can move on from all of this. I'm Keenat, and that's my perspective.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.
Kim Porter's book says Kim had tapes of Diddy having relations, air quotes, with Jay-Z, Will Smith, and others. Okay, so I told you guys yesterday, and I played a couple of little clips from his interview, but I told you that I was going to sit down and watch the whole thing and come back and talk to you guys about it. So it's 2 hours and 15 minutes. I watched it for you guys so you wouldn't have to, okay? Now, there's a lot of things that this guy is saying that I don't believe when it comes to him and this flash drive that he has. He claims that Kim Porter's friends gave him a flash drive, and that's where he got the book idea and the stuff to write this book that he's put out on Amazon that Amazon now has taken back, okay? But although that he is saying some things that just seem very far-fetched and untrue because he hasn't proven it, people are saying there's a lot of things that can be true, and he is saying that he is actually going to produce, finally, the evidence. So for people like me who don't believe him or maybe believe some things and don't believe, he's saying that if it comes to it and he's pushed to litigation, that he is going to prove the fact that he does have this flash drive. And on these flash drive, there are tapes with Will Smith and Jay-Z and others. He said, and I'm going to play the clip for you in a second. He says, Will Smith and Jay-Z can be bisexuals. Actually, you know what? Let me not even paraphrase this guy. I'm gonna just play the clip. Listen to what he says about Will Smith and Jay-Z and about them being
and people with foolishness and people with malcontent. But we are sifting through that and trying to make sure that we identify and vet people that have real claims, legitimate, credible claims. Right now, we're talking about 120 people from 25 different states for conduct that occurred over 25 years.
25 different states? Is that what you said? Not cities. You said 25 different states.
Yeah. Because, a lot of these parties obviously took place in Los Angeles, New York, Manhattan, or the Hamptons, and Miami. And a lot of these people were flown in. And this wasn't a secret. I mean, it was known that people were being flown in for these parties. People were being paid cash to attend these parties. People were being identified at clubs or at concerts or on the street even, and invited to these parties. So you have that group of people that are involved. And then you have another group, and maybe this is the more sinister situation where, young people with stars in their eyes wanting to break into the entertainment industry with promises of stardom, who are taken advantage of, in some cases allegedly drugged and abused, and basically just left behind, with shame.